Hey, welcome back. So, published writers have a lot of secrets, okay? Some they're never going to tell you, lots they are. I'm going to spill the beans on most of them. But one of the biggest, if not the biggest secret that published writers know is dun dun dun. I wonder if you can guess. Is it about rewriting? Yes, kinda. But it's bigger than that. The really biggest, huge, enormous secret that published writers know is that it is not just about the writing, okay? This is another one of those things that once someone tells you or once it clicks with you, it seems really obvious, but up until that point, it just might not be. Now, don't get me wrong, good writing is important, okay? It is crucial. You need the talent and you need skills and you need hard work, okay? I think you need all three of those things to get your writing to a reasonable level, but that is not enough. I sometimes get really cross with the idea that our society has painted these romantic images about a number of careers, and writing is one of them, that just seems to think that there's nothing you can be taught, there's nothing you can learn, there's nothing you can do. You just sit on your own and you pound away with your words for hours and hours and hours, and then you have something brilliant and you have a lucky break with an agent, and then that's it, and you make your millions and it's all wonderful. And I would like to say, oh, well, that does happen, but I'm not even sure that it does, okay? So, I mean, in writing, often the most famous examples, you know, the John Grishams, the J.K. Rowlings, they, even when you look at their stories, it didn't quite work out like that. My point in telling you this is not to knock anybody else at all. It's actually to encourage you, and not just in an airy, fairy, fluffy way. It's to encourage you in a realistic way, okay? Because there are 4 key parts to success as a published writer. 4 big things that published writers know that amateurs don't. Okay, I'm going to turn to screen to go through them. So number 1, for all I've just said, is your writing. Okay, it's the most important part and it's the least important part, because your writing can be as brilliant as you like, but if you can't find a way of getting people to see it, and if nobody gets to read it, well then it might as well be terrible. Okay. Number 2, finding the right people. Now, this is often dismissed as a, oh, it's not what you know, it's who you know, kind of a whinge. And that kind of whinging just doesn't get anybody anywhere. The truth is, it's people who make business decisions, okay? It's literary agents, it's publishers, and now we're talking about novels again, but it's readers, it's magazine editors, it's the customer who buys the newspaper. It's any bit of writing. It's a person at the other end. And finding the right people is one part of it. Having them trust you is the other key part, okay? It isn't enough to just be known. You have to have some decent work, and they have to trust that if they do share the contact of that editor with you, then you're not going to embarrass them and make sure they're never going to get work again because you've really let them down, okay? So they have to know you and trust you. And that is where networking come in. It's something that I hated. It's something that I didn't want to be true for years. And then, you know, finally, like a lot of things, I just had to get over myself, right? Because you actually do need to know how to get in touch with the right people to really get somewhere with your writing. Number 3 is working the system, or knowing the way the system works. And that again sounds very nefarious, very kind of evil thing, but it isn't. What I mean here is, for example, if you want your article published in a magazine, here's the process. You need the editor responsible for commissioning that section. You need to write a pitch, which is a short email. You need to send it to that person. They need to accept it. They'll come back probably with their own ideas and with a specific brief of a specific word count, a specific style, a deadline, everything else. You write it, send it back to the editor. They have their comments, send it back to you. You send it back, and so on. That is the process to publication in magazines, okay? And it then goes through several other editors. Beginners don't know this, okay? They just think, oh, I've got an article. Here's a brilliant article I've written, and I'll just send it to the contact address on the front of the magazine, okay? And it doesn't even get read by an editor, and it isn't what they want, and it isn't the right word count or anything else. If you want to get a book published, there's a similar thing. There's this process, okay? You need to have your pitch, your cover letter, your synopsis. There's no point writing the whole book and sending it out randomly without the name of an agent. That's not the process. That's not how it works. With blogging, you can just write and publish articles on a blog, but if you don't understand the process of social media, of SEO, of online networking like that, then again, you're not going to get to that next stage. Okay, so you don't have to be perfect at the process, but you have to know that there is one, and you need to know how to do it. Okay, it's just the same as wandering into an airport with your passport and hoping to end up in Paris. It's just not going to work. You need to find out, do they fly to Paris? If so, where do you buy the ticket? Which counter? Where do you go? Okay, it doesn't need to be complicated, but you need to know the steps to take for the writing path that you want to follow. And then number 4, finally, is finding your rocket fuel. And this is the one that so many people forget. It's another one of those really damaging legends and stories and romantic notions about writers, you know, where they all get tuberculosis or become alcoholics and starve themselves to death and stay up all night and, you know, ruin their friendships and leave everybody behind. This is a really destructive way of living, and it makes for a good story for other writers to write about the famous person's life. But it's a terrible way to live, and it doesn't even really make you very productive. If we look at the most productive artists of our times, they actually take care of each other quite well. Take care of themselves quite well. Okay, sleep, exercise, managing your creativity, learning how to be inspired, learning how to edit your work, learning how to divide the little time that we have, because time is the only thing we can't get back. Okay, we need to spend it wisely, and those are the 4 key parts that make up success for a writer, and it's the same for any discipline. So the homework for these, there's no homework for this lesson, okay, because I left you with a lot on the Bulletproof course, but I wanted to give you the scaffolding, not just of a piece of writing, but of your writing career, or the way that writing fits into your life. Okay, don't lose sight of these 4 things. You need to do all 4 of them. You can't be brilliant at them all at once, but you do need to do all 4. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.